Good morning, my are back. Here's the plan. Digging trenches for tie beams and then installing tie beams inside the house, along the north side perimeter wall, and also down in the east corner of the perimeter wall near where the entrance gate will be. What could possibly go wrong? We've had a couple of requests to give a better idea of where we are. Where are we building? Where do we live? So I'm going to try now to show you. So inside the house we got 5 guys digging trenches. As I said earlier on, it's been made a little easier by the rain yesterday, and it's also helped by the fact that we're pretty overcast today, so it's not as hot as we have been. Here we're looking at the corner of the house. This will be the kitchen. And over here is where the carport will be, plus some storage room. And we didn't connect the two. As you can see, we have a gap. And basically it's to try and ensure we allow as much light as possible coming into the kitchen. That's why there's no connection. So, big crew in here today. Ranual's team. I'm not sure they're all Ranual's team, but he's the Iron Man, so we'll say they are for now. They're all working on the rebar. Still some columns being prepared, I can see. But I think the general idea is that it's more about tie beams today. Lots to do. So here we are over at the east corner. And you can see the trenches are getting dug out, and forms, the wooden thingies, are getting put in to retain the concrete. So we got a small delivery this morning, concrete hollow blocks. I don't think there's any intention to use them just yet, but basically you want to get these in as early as you can, within reason. They need to continue to cure, and for that they need more water, they need rain. So we just want to let these sit here for quite a long time, if we can. If it doesn't rain, in theory they're supposed to water them down periodically, and it just makes them stronger. So only a small delivery, but it's good to see more of this stuff coming on site ahead of time. Well, here's a first for this building project. It's 11:52 and the site is empty. So what happened was, at about 11:30 the rain came and it started getting heavier, a little bit more, and at about 11, just before 11:40, the bell went for lunch. So Manny, the boss, looking after his team, called them in a little early, got them out the wet, and it may yet prove to be an inspired decision, because now the rain has stopped, and so maybe he's kept them dry, and hopefully they can get back to work. We'll see whether they start a little bit early after lunch. Okay, early afternoon, everyone back, and should never have had any doubts, they did start early. So it was, despite the early stop for the rain break, they kept it to 1 hour and they started early. So here, lots and lots more trench digging. It will only be trench digging today, apparently. Well, trench digging and putting some gravel in the bases, if you can make that out. I'm not sure. The beams themselves won't go in. That may happen tomorrow, but basically when the beams go in, the concrete has to be poured, I am told, pretty much straight away. And they're not prepared to do that today. They're not going to be ready for that today. But lots and lots of trenches. Well, this I didn't expect. Not only do we have the tie beams in here in the east corner of the perimeter wall, we've got a wall. Well, the beginnings of a wall. We've got concrete hollow blocks in. So this crew have been multitasking. Well, they all do that. But we're off and running on a perimeter wall. Marvellous. And just in case anybody's wondering, given previous comments about concrete hollow blocks needing to sit for a while, the ones that these guys are using on the wall have been here for, I don't know, about a month now. I think they were delivered before we had a contract, before we had any real activity going on here. So we'd had these blocks delivered and a few more further over there that you can't see. So they have not used fresh, brand new hollow blocks in the wall that they're starting over there. And last but absolutely not least, the carport crew of 2. There might be another one hiding somewhere, maybe buried in one of the holes, but these guys continue to dig out where the columns will be for the carport. And again, just in case there's any questions, the metal bars along the outside, yes, they are outside of our property, as is Security Cow, SID, that one, but they are just guidelines. That's not where we're building. We will be sticking to our own land. Okay, so it's 3:30, and although this is not going to be fully fitted, they are starting to get tie beams into place. So we have on the bottom gravel. I'm not sure quite what height that goes to, but there is gravel in the base, and then I'm told now that concrete will get poured onto these tomorrow. So this is just getting started, getting it roughly put into place. And the same thing is happening out of sight over there, where Engineer Raphael in the white shirt is overseeing, while several other gentlemen are still digging away. And the other thing they've been doing is they've been throwing salt into the trenches as a starting point to try and deal with termites. So you may be able to make out the white powder. That's salt. I'm not sure if they're going to use a termite spray as well. And by the way, somewhere over here, I'm not sure where, there it is, there's a hard hat. A yellow hard hat, if you can make that out. Who says we don't use hard hats on this site? Well, I'll tell you what it was used for. It was used for spreading salt. They filled up the hard hat with salt and used that as a container. So, health and safety, there you go. And, oh, here goes the salt again. So again, I'm not sure if this is just a first step of termite killing, or if this is the only step of termite killing. If anybody knows the difference in effectiveness between salt and termite pesticide, drop a comment in for me. So here we've got the tie bar being tied into the column. And what interested me, and still interests me, is that if you can make it out, the tie beam has 2 horizontal rebar across the top and 2 across the bottom. And what's interesting to me, at least, is that one of those tie beams is outside the column, and the other one goes through, not quite the centre of the column, but it goes through the column. So again, any thoughts from anybody that knows construction about the good, the bad and the ugly of positioning the rebar in the tie beam inside or outside the column? Drop me a comment. So here, just as a quick follow-up, while lead foreman Manny is making some adjustments, the horizontal rebar in the tie beams, I have been told, are okay to be on the outside of the column here, where it's below ground, because there will be soil and concrete surrounding it, so there'll be pressure on the tie beams coming in from the outside that will keep it pushed in effectively against that column. When they come to doing beams above ground, then the beams will go through both of the horizontal, or all of the horizontal rebar will go through the centre of the column, because up there there'll only be pressure from the concrete itself, which is not enough. So that's the explanation here. Again, any further comments from anybody? Please, please, please drop them in those comments and share your experience. My mistake. It wasn't Manny. The hat fooled me. But anyway, adjustments being made. I think additional stirrups are being added. And I believe that what should be happening is that close to these junctions between columns and beams, you get additional stirrups, closer together stirrups effectively, to give additional strength, because this is where the greatest pressure is being exerted on the metal. So if you can make it out, here is an example of where the stirrups along the beam are spaced out, and as you get close to the column, they're much closer together to give that strength. So inside the trench you have gravel, and in fact they're coming back to put more in. The drawing calls for apparently 5 centimetres depth of this gravel, and when I looked at it a little while ago, it's hard to tell because some of it is already kind of mixed in with the earth, but it didn't look like it was a full covering. So they are coming back round now and adding more. So again, in fact, there we go, adding more over there, and they're going all the way around again to do that. So I'm happy we're going to what the drawing says it should be. They're clocked off. It's 4:30 plus a few. So we'll start over here where they put in the first concrete hollow blocks of the entire build on this east corner wall. I don't think they got a lot further than they were earlier on, although I think the blocks towards the end there, the low level ones, those I think are later on today. But it's all happening over here. We're getting security. Maybe our security cows. No, we'll still need security cows. We're still going to have them. Plus alligators and gun turrets, anti-tank missiles. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Anyway, good progress along here. Let's see what else they've been up to. So here we are in the corner of the carport. Well, in the carport, and we have the holes for the columns here. There will be 3 carports starting from the far end, And then this end will be an enclosed storage room. And we still clearly have a water issue over here. But as before, I'm sure they'll fix it. More column holes started over here as well. So, given that there was really nothing here this morning, first thing, apart from some steel bars, that's good progress today for only, I think there were only 3 guys working in this area. Steel, steel, steel rebar as far as the eye can see. Ranual and his boys, his men, my apologies, have been hard at it today. Lots more, and that doesn't include items that they've already delivered elsewhere on the site. And here we have those first tie beams. Not concreted in yet, still work to be done. There's probably still a little bit more gravel that needs to go in. And this one needs to be straightened. It looks like the Sydney Harbour Bridge at the moment. So that'll get straightened out tomorrow, I'm told. And moving down, more tie beams over there. I think they actually extend round the corner as well. I'll have a quick look now. Okay, so they don't extend round this corner, but there is one loosely in place just here. So, a lot more progress. They did go back around and add more gravel in a lot of places. We'll check tomorrow to make sure it's fully up to height. So, a cracking day. The guys were helped a little bit by the weather. It's been overcast all day. Nevertheless, you know, I'm standing here at 4:35 or something, and I'm not moving, and the humidity's large. And I've spent the best part of 30 years living in Asia in a humid climate. So it's tough going, even when it is a slightly cooler day like today. But tons and tons of progress in here. Loads of progress over in that corner where that wall is that I showed you a few moments ago, the east corner. Progress over in the carport, and progress down the north wall. Fabulous. Day 1 of the new week. We're done. See you tomorrow.